Okay, I'm live. Okay, I'm going to do, these are just pet scotties, not just, they're pet scotties. So I do a classic trim, but I do also what the owner wants and needs as well. So I'm going to pop them in the bath. I do give every dog 2 baths, not just one, and I'm going to move the camera around quite a bit so you can see, because the bathing and the prep work is the most important part of a groom. If you don't do good prep work, you are not going to get a good finish on your groom. Okay, can we see her? Right, you might not hear me when the bath's going on. So this is my first bath, and I'm just using a cheaper shampoo for the first bath. Right, ready? No shaking, no shaking. Over the ears, you don't water in the ear hole. You don't want to soak in the eyes either, so be very careful. Right, we'll just rinse off quickly. Right, so that's my first bath. I'll just do a quick first bath. Let my bath fill up a bit more. So now the second bath, I'm going to use actually a moisturising shampoo. See, now with a hydro bath, if anyone uses them, you'll notice that the bath, because it dilutes the shampoo, it does make the dog smell clean, but I usually put it on there direct because it makes them smell really nice. So I'm just going to put some shampoo direct on her top coat, and I'm going to brush it through now. She's got a really, really thick coat. Okay, so if I try and get some now out of her undercoat, and it comes out really well doing this. Saying that, it's not. Usually you have loads, OT. You don't want to brush hard. Let's have a go. Right, let's wash her through. I always shampoo the head last. The longer the less time the soap's left on the head, the more chance it's not got to go in the eyes. shape. And you just rinse the head off and then brush her over again. Over the ears. Sticky up ears. Let's see if I can get some more hair out. Oh, get down. Scottie's has got, this one has got a really thick coat clip. Yeah, it's got a bit. Okay, rinse her off. Right, I am going to put some conditioner, shaking, in her undercarriage, in her legs, because they are left fairly long. And in her beard. Okay, now I will brush through her legs as well. Brush the conditioner in. Now they don't come to me for about 3 months, every 3 months. So I find by doing this, I do get the hair out of her undercoat, out of her feathering, which helps with the prevention of the mats in between grooms. See, so I do, you know, we do get dead hair out. Yeah, let's, whoop, good girl. Right, there we go. So I think like if you brush your own hair, if you realise in the bath, it makes it more silky. So it makes her legs a lot more silky when I'm ready to finish her. Right, I'm just going to rinse her all completely now. Make sure you've got all the soap out, so you'll end up with them having itchy skin. There's a towel. So prep work is a must. Don't ever scrimp on your prep work. And the shampoos you use, it makes such a difference. I know sometimes we all think that using a dear shampoo and the price of the shampoo, to be honest, because they're such good quality shampoos, you use less of it. The cheaper shampoos, you seem to use more pumps. and they don't lather up. So, I didn't see the live chat come up. New Zealand. You have to push the messages. Stupid's that. Don't know why I have to push it. It doesn't even come up to tell me. Right. Blastings obviously as it is. Got my cup of coffee. Blastings as it is. I'll blast her as dry as I can because I just want to quickly whiz over her with the hairdryer. I don't want to waste time drying the dogs. I want to waste my time enjoying the actual groom. I'll just drink my coffee. Put my coffee down and cover it up. It's going to get hairy. Okay. Right. Earmuffs for me. We put a lot of happy hoodies on the dogs because the blasters are so powerful and loud. I might shut the door actually. Should you shut the door? Do you think the neighbours will mind? I'm grooming at home today, so that's where I can do the live videos. These two, both of these, I've actually used for exams, but because they're not the best example of a Scottie, we really struggled to pass on them. So pop hers in, pop mine in. I might actually turn the speaker off for a minute, so I've got to listen to the blaster banging on. Or not. I'll put the mic back on now. Good girl. Right, I'll be back on. No one wants to listen to the blasting, do they? It's so loud. Why it doesn't just stay up with the messages. Okay, as you see, when I was blasting her, when I was blasting the legs and the skirt, I did hold the blaster away and I held it up a lot and manoeuvred my blaster slowly, because if you go in too fast, you're going to start tangling the coat and the hair. That's the last thing you want to do, because then you've got to brush it. So, and then I just use a hand dryer. Now you will see me put the hand dryer down and leave it on. The reason I do this is because every time you turn the hairdryer off, it has to warm up again. But I do always point it away from the dog. Unless sometimes silly little bits, like I want to get to the foot, I'll point it at the dog, but away from the dog. So the air's on the dog so I can brush and dry at the same time. But I don't very rarely use the stand dryer. They're a little bit of a pain to drag around a room. So she's really dry. So I give myself most probably 20 minutes to half an hour on average dogs to prep. Bath, that's bathing and completely brush dried, ready to be on the table to clip and scissor. So I always like to watch my time, because it's nice to know when you're getting faster. But like I said, she hasn't been for 3 months. Her owners, I don't think, brush her. I very much doubt they brush her, because she used to be really matted. But I started to realise that the lot of prep work that I do, i.e. brushing them in the bath and keeping this coat free, just helps so much. Keeping the undercoat out, good girl. Trying to always be gentle in the way you hold them. Trying to brush dry is hard work, so that's why I put the dryer down for a minute and brush over. Otherwise I'd have to use a stand dryer. But she's pretty dry. So when you're fluff drying, like now, at the end of your blasting and you're, sorry, I've got to stand in front of the camera. I'm going to position myself around the dog as best I can. When you're fluff drying, like now, you know, it's finished drying, fluff drying, that's all you're doing. You're just fluff drying the dog. At this stage, you don't want to have the dog really wet still, and you're having to use the dryer to dry them. That's just time consuming. And the cleaner the dog, the quicker it dries. Some dogs we even give 3 baths to. So yes, you are wasting a little bit more money on shampoos, but you're saving time on drying. dry. Now I need to have her body really dry because she's got such a dense coat. Trying to clip through, I'll end up with lines if I don't really try and dry her. We want it that way. Good girl, turn around. That's it. I know, your sister's down there. She's come in to look. Okay, so that's taken me half an hour, just over. Have a bit of coffee. Right, she is clipped a number 4 skip tooth. You can see it, I don't know if you can see that. So just a normal number 4 skip tooth. I don't very rarely use comb attachments. So I found with a scottie, obviously they're meant to be hand stripped, but that's not happening. So I found with a scottie, the longer you clip and you don't go into that undercoat, like when you're hand stripping, the easier it actually is. The shorter you go, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful on the top, but you can't blend it. It grabs and you don't get the nice flow of finish from body to skirt. So a number 4 is actually a really nice blade on a scottie. At work, we have a scottie that's always been done nice, not long like this. And then she wants it shorter and shorter. So we just thought, oh, do you know what? We're going to clip it at 7F. And now he's starting to get that coat funk. And it's not growing back properly because you've gone so deep into the coat. It doesn't always work on every dog. It's not great, is it at all? Right. So he's done like a Westie. So talking about it, you'd do from the occiput, just behind the occiput. This is meant, they have a really funky haircut, but this is a pet trim, okay? So I will do from the occiput right the way down to the base of the towel. I will then clip to the top of the back leg, coming down to the loin and just above the elbow to give them that nice skirt. And like I say, if you're doing it for showing, it's a little bit different. You leave more hair in the front of the towel. They have a bit of hair in between their ears to make it look narrower on their head, but we're doing pet trim. And to be honest, my videos aren't always all about the actual style of the dog. I try and do these videos more so people can see dog grooming as it's happening, and also how I handle the dogs, because you can do the most amazing trims in the world, but you need to handle the dogs properly. And I think this is where a lot of groomers struggle to try and get quick. You need to handle them. So I always take little strokes with the clippers. I don't go all the way from the neck all the way down. The clippers aren't going to do that, and they're not going to like you for it either. So we just take little clips, little strokes. Keeps moving. Sorry if I'm in the way of the camera. She keeps moving. So when I get to the point where I finish clipping, I start to lighten my clippers. So then I will skim off. I don't get to this point and stop. You know, I use my equipment to my advantage. Flat across the bottom. We have a nice flat bottom. Freya? Okay, so we have a nice gradual flow. We don't want to skim too much into the leg hair, but I do, remember these are pet trims, so I do a bit. And as you can see from a majority of my videos, I don't use a lot of restraints on dogs. I do sometimes use a belly harness if a dog's very lazy, but I'm not holding her up as such. I'm just holding her still. And by me holding her all the time, I can feel what she's doing, manoeuvring in her body. You know, if I'm relying on a belly harness, for one, I've got to keep trying to shuffle around the belly harness, which will drive me insane. And you haven't got hands on with your dog. You need to have your hands on the dog. Everything has its use for a purpose, but you don't need to overuse it. So you can see, looking back on my video, because then I can see, like it looks, you can see from when you look at there to here, she's actually really beautiful. So I work around my table. I don't, I have my table in the middle of the room, but when I'm on camera, of course, I've got to try and keep moving the dog. So I'm going to do half side and then turn her and do the other half. So I'm going to just clip a mini with a number 10. And I am going to clip under her feet. Can you see how I've got her leg? I'm holding all of her stifle, her knee, and I'm resting her leg on my wrist, or her foot on my wrist, so I can get in there, because that's comfortable for her. I haven't got her really high up. I'm bending down to get in the position to make her feel more comfortable. And the same with the front leg. I'm holding it in with her. Got knots in there as well. Good girl. Oh, good girl. Sorry. And then armpit. Try and get. I'm just going to clip her armpit anyway. So because she's all long, I am trying to get some scissors. And where are my nail clippers? I haven't groomed for a week or so in here. Don't know where I've put everything. Ah, here we go. So I usually do the foot and the nails at the same time, all my way round. Oh, your nails are quite good. Because then I try not to forget where I'm at. So I've done foot, done nail, done foot, done nail. So I'm just going to hold her foot out just a little bit. Just to get round her foot, so I can get round. Now I'm going to do her foot like this and not down on the floor. For one, her skirt's so long I can't see what's foot and what's skirt. Also, they're so short in the leg. It's quite hard. And I am just going to take the edge off around her foot just to bring it off the floor, because they are pet dogs and they do live in the country. So believe it or not, you live right in the middle of the country. You do, don't you? Nice flat bottom. Okay, trying to scissor her belly up a bit as well. It's a slight angle from the loin down, but they are meant to be really quite long. So this is the thing, isn't it, with doing classic trims and doing pet trims. At the end of the day, she is someone's pet, so it's not necessarily a classic trim, because she's got to be practical to go out and live a normal life. So again, I'm holding the foot up to do her feet and going round. Let's check her nails. Oh, your nails are really good as well. So again, I'm going to hold it. Oh, good girl. Just to take it off the floor. These I find hard. Put your foot down. And her dash hounds, because they're so low, there's not much room, is there, to work with. I do love seeing a Scottie. And I do love doing these two, because they're just... Evie, her sister's a little bit more naughty to groom. Do a towel while we're this size. The towel is flat on the bottom. I think some people do clip the bottom. I don't clip the bottom bit underneath. I don't clip round bottoms either, I scissor it. I find that you can aggravate a dog a lot. So this is all flat underneath here. So when they're standing, it's all flat. And then we comb out. Try and bring you a bit closer, you might be able to see. Stand up. Show you on her tail, because Evie's, her sister's tail, is quite hard because she doesn't stand. So we're going to comb it out. And from a point, going fatter towards the bottom. Always checking. Up. No, stand. So they have a point at the end of their tail. Westies are flat. These have a bit more of a point. And I do it in proportion with the dog, so it looks right with the dog. I don't know if naturally they're meant to be really short. I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't remember. Stand. Good girl. Just walking right to the back of the table. And see how I handle the towel. I do one side first. So I did the underneath first, sorry. Then I did one side. And I did the other side. And then the top. Right, one side done. While I've got the 10 on my clippers, I do the other side of a mini. Naughty. I'll do the feet. You see, sorry, put you back a bit. I hate seeing myself on camera. Armpit. Saves it getting matted. And front foot. I've got a tangle in there as well. They're not really big tangles though. Open. Right, then I'll do my number 4. So this side, I'm going to cross over the camera a bit when I'm clipping. So again, this is the other thing. If you go with a shorter blade on these breeds of dogs as well, and Westies and Cairns, and go into this undercut and Border Terriers, and you cut into this undercoat, you're there for hours with the lines. Yes, you do have to do what the owner requests, but also try and work out what works, because it doesn't grow very fast, you know, this 3 months. I do use my left hand on my left side. Gives me the ability to hold the dog up. And like I said, feeling the dog at all times. Like, because she's moving, I can feel when she's going to sit, so I won't let her. I'll encourage her to stand. I'm going to have to go in front of the camera. Wait. Am I right in front of it? Sorry. Evie. OT. The other thing I've found when doing this is if you are getting a few lines, grab a banded comb and go over them with a banded comb. That helps a lot as well. I'm just going to blend in my lines a little bit with thinners, chunkers, just to soften this a bit. I am going to just go under her belly first because of where I'm standing. Really stupid top on underneath. It's falling down. Okay. I'll let her sit for a minute. Let's do under her front foot. And again, I'll do round while I'll put it up in the air on these. Toenails are fine. Because they're all long, I'm just trying to get it off the floor. So when she's walking, it's not all dragging. For her owners, a bit easier for them. Get a bit off underneath. See, I'm supporting her elbow. So I'm lifting her up by that and supporting her at the same time so she feels comfortable. The dog doesn't feel comfortable, they'll keep wiggling, which is fair enough, you know. So the same with the back leg, I'll hold it in close to her. So this side's different to the other side. So I'm supporting her. I handle dogs very differently depending on the dog, depending how silly they are. And how much. Some dogs you don't need to hold at all. Some dogs stand really, really well. And others you have to hold more. So it depends on them, doesn't it? I'll take it off the floor a bit again. Using my chunkers, I don't know why, to be fair. It seems to be grabbing the hair nicer. And more of a natural look instead of a chop by the clippers, by the scissors. Looking at my work in the camera. Okay. Sit. Sit. You can sit now. Okay, now I'm just going to clip the neck. Now take the harness off for a bit. Oh. Right. So I'm going to clip from the occiput. Round the neck. Doesn't really matter if you come up into the cheeks because you're going to clip that shorter anyway. And down to her chest bone, so she has a bib on. And that will then blend round to where you've clipped down to the elbow or above the elbow. The slower you go with your clipping, the less clipper lines you'll get in the dog. I'm just going to run, because I've got the hydro bath. When you have a hydro bath, it only holds so much water in the wash tank, which is great. So I need to fill it up a little bit. I mean, in the rinse tank. So I need to fill it up a little bit because otherwise I don't have enough water, warm water for the next dog. At work we have an external shower, but at home I haven't. So I'm going to clip her head a 7F. So we clip from just behind the eyebrows. So if you feel, you'll feel a dent behind the eyebrows. So you clip from the eyebrows back to where you've clipped, blending into the neck. And then it's either like one blade down here, in between the ear and the eyebrow, or the other way you can gauge it is from the corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth. And there's a little moly bit in here as well that you can feel, and you clip from that back to the corner of the ear to the Adam's apple. You might be able to see, but because she's black, it's quite hard, isn't it? Skimming over the ear because I'm going to do the ear with a number 10. And they have the tufts left in front of the ears, so it is easier to come down with one blade. But you do have to realise some dogs might have a bit smaller head here and you might not be able to do that. So depends on the conformation of the dog, doesn't it? And we leave this tuft in front of the ear. Oops, follow it round underneath the neck, all the way around. And then we'll go one blade line in again. Holding everything forward. Last thing we want to do is clip the beard hair. I missed that bit with the number 4. Before I do her ears, I'm going to do her head because she's out of the harness, her face because she's out of the harness. So we will thin. I'm using chunkers because I can't be bothered to get my thinners. Thin in between the eyes. And then you want to do in front of the eyes, about a finger width worth. Now her mum doesn't like her eyebrows really, really narrow and pointed. So I leave hers a little bit more full. So then I'm going to bring all the hair forward. So can you see? Oh, sorry. With the light coming in. Make sure they're both looking even. So I'm going to comb all the hair forward. And I'm going to come from the corner, from the nose out at an angle. Okay, and then anything in here along the eyelash line, on the top eye, you can cut out. And this lifts the eyebrow. Now their eyebrows can come right down to the nose. Practicality for owners, it's not really overly practical. And owners, you do what the owner wants, but they do have a distinctive eyebrow, don't they? Again, we're going to cut on the inside. Comb them both down. Comb them out. Make sure they're even. Oh, the light's a bit. Can you see that? Like I say, her eyebrows are not really, really thin. The owner likes them bigger, which is fair enough. Just make sure they're even. Beards are long. Unless the owner wants it shorter, but this owner quite likes their beards long. Make sure you just blend it in. Put no straggly bits from the cheek to the beard. But not cutting too much into the beard. And this side again, we come from the corner of the nose. But that's only a guide, remember. Okay. Put the head back in the harness because I need my hands. And clip her ears. So I do them a number 10 because she's a pet. I think you can go 15. Some people even do 30. So obviously the shorter it is, the neater it looks. The whole ear, so all around the back of the ear. The only bit you don't want to clip is this bit at the front of the ear here. Okay? But all the rest of the ear is clipped. And the same on the inside. I'm not getting any hair down the ear hole. Right, their ears are finished at a point, so follow your fingers along the ear. Don't ever guess, you'll end up cutting the ear off to a point. Okay, and then half of this side of the ear as well. And then you're left with the tuft. So, Freya, so you only want this tuft here, so you can clean the front of the ear. She likes actually some tufty hair left around the ear hole because they do go out and forage a bit. She says it protects stuff going down their ears if I open it up too much. So you can fold the ear, hang on, and you don't want anything to go past that fold. I think that's correct. Hold it up. And just look at what pictures and what it needs to be like. I'm most probably not completely right. I say, there's breeds you specialise in. Like I love my poodles and I try it, but I have my own poodles. And then there's dogs that you do for pet trims that you want to get it as near as you can to pet standard. There's so many trims out there. There's so many breeds of dog out there. But you do need to look enough. Right. And there's so many videos out there for actual pet trim, like for a trim. I say I don't want to teach or show you. I just wanted to show people handling and how good the dogs can be. Not every dog. Just make sure everything matches. Everything's symmetrical. And we are done. One down, one to go. I've got two of them, so I can't see why I can't. The messages don't stay up. It's really annoying. It is the exact breed I want. The Chow Chow. Okay, randomly, can I have that dog? Or a Chow Chow, do you mean? To be fair, I would have a Scottie. I quite like them as a breed. I think they're a really nice breed of dog. I don't like style. I like the style of them, okay, rather than... I think they'd be a cool little breed of dog to have. But I do like my poodles. I am quite pleased with that. I'm going to take a picture. Oh, apart from your eyebrows fell to one side. I'll tell you one thing that always is good, is if you take a picture of your work and look back. OT, OT. You're a good girl. So her sister, if you want to watch and carry on watching, I'm going to groom the other one. Her sister is a little bit more awkward, so it will be harder for you to see on the camera because I do have to manoeuvre. She leans on me the whole time. So, hey, good girl. Oh, she looks beautiful. Right, tidy up between dogs. So I don't want hair everywhere. So I'm at home, I only have a dustpan and brush. I don't groom much at home. These are customers that my salon's about 45 minutes from me. So a lot of the ones I do at home are customers that have moved closer to this way, so they still come to me, which is fun. Right. Done. Ready for round 2. I am just going to put a harness on her, walking around my house. Come here, OT. Good girl. Hurry up. So this one's Evie. So OT and Evie. She's got a very different coat, very different body as well. She's really slight, very slim. Right, harness on you. A lot thinner coat. It's not half as thick as the other ones. Right, let's pop you in the bath. How much my battery's gone up. Right, let's pop you around so you can watch me bath. Manoeuvre it. Ugh. Okay. Right, first bath. Always give every dog 2. She is more awkward, aren't you, Mrs? She sits a lot. Just sit. Again, I wash the head last over the ears because obviously they've got sticky up ears. You don't water down the ear hole. It can't come out of a dog's ear hole. It's not like ours where we can tip it to one side. So you don't particularly want water down the ear. Rinse off a little bit. You don't need to rinse off thoroughly because we're doing 2 baths anyway. Just rinse off the dirt. Yeah. And then off a bit higher. These little black dots, don't they? Because why don't you show up the... Oh, it does bug me. It doesn't show up the messages. I don't understand why. Right, so we've done 1 bath. I'm going to use this again. So again, I'm going to just put it over her body rather than directly into the tank. So it just makes them smell cleaner, I just think. Because it's so highly diluted in the tanks. I've got enough water in it for We have indeed. Right. You don't want soap in their eyes. Hard, isn't it? Because if I wash, like usually I wash with their head back so I don't get the soap in their eyes, but you can't on a Scottie. You've got to wash forward because of the water going in the ears. So you almost have to wash down that way. The water's okay in the eyes, but not the soap. Right, I'm going to brush her over. No, thank you, I don't want to be shook. See if there's any dead coat in there. I do this on a lot of the dogs that have the undercoats, the Border Terriers, not Westies so much. I don't do it on Cockapoos or anything, they're completely different. Unless they're matted on the legs, then I will. Borders, it's very good to do this on, because they have the dense undercoat. That's probably hand stripper ball breeds, isn't it? Wire coated hand strip breeds. Because you do get some hair out. Right, rinse her off. She's so lazy. Right, I am going to put some conditioner in her legs. As you can see, I just put it on neat. And then I will brush this through as well. See, now some dogs that I have, yeah, let's see, look at this, it's dead head. This is in the feathers. So this is what mats. And say you work with dogs that you know, so I've been doing these a long time, and this doesn't come out after the bath in the feathers. So it's well worth doing. I think that's why they don't get matted. Out the back leg. Good girl. Make sure you've got no soap left in anywhere. I also find that some dogs, if they don't like being dematted or brushed, if you brush them while they're wet, the hair's more elasticated, and the coat is more elastic, and they tolerate it more. So that's always a good thing to do. I sometimes do brush the banish in the dogs when they're wet. Ow. This one I am moving. She really wiggles. I am manoeuvring her all the time. She doesn't stand very still. Right. She's not naughty, it's just her way. She moves a lot. Yeah, Bubble. Right, I'm going to turn my speaker off again because the blasters are loud, aren't they? And as you watch, I'll blast her as dry as I possibly can. And then if you watch when I'm doing the body, I'll get right in there on the body. But when I'm doing the legs, watch, I'll step right the way back with the blaster so I don't tangle the hair in the legs. To see, let's turn this off. hair everywhere. They do molt. Right. So again, I've dried her to the best that I can with the blaster. So my blaster does blow out warm air from the motor, I think. It's not a... So it does dry the dogs really well. So just... But this is... You need to fluff dry. Obviously you need to brush her over. Lift the hair up. She wiggles the whole time. She isn't fun. Oi. Evie. So to try and brush like this and use the hand dryer, it'd just be impossible really. So that's why I'm brushing her over, and then I'll just use the hand dryer just to finish her off. Good girl. Stop wiggling. I stupidly used her for an exam. I don't actually know how. Evie, you're not naughty, darling. You just need a brush. You see I'm all the way through. I've got my arm all the way through her so I can hold her up and hold her front leg at the same time. This is, look, I'm most probably going to be in front of the camera a lot doing her. Like I say in all my videos, these are customers' dogs. They are just my normal, everyday work and dogs. So I'm supporting her leg. Again, the more comfortable I make her feel, hopefully the easier my life is. Sorry, I've got to go in front of the camera. I can't hold her and show you all, I'm afraid. I'm still getting dead hair outlet. You're a monkey. You are. No. So she could officially be groomed like that the whole time. She would be happy with her butt facing me. Hey. So I've got a number 10 on here, so I'm just going to do mini while I've got a 10 on here and under the feet. I'll do the armpit on her as well to save Matt starting. They're so low to the ground. Don't bite. Well, because she keeps spinning around, I'm going to clip all of her underneath with the number 10. You see how I manoeuvre myself around? I'll clip her mini. I'll clip under the foot while I've got the foot up in the air. The same as the front leg. I'll clip her armpit. Don't let her foot put the foot down. And then clip under the foot. It's quite warm out there today. I thought it was meant to be miserable. And instead I have to hold her all the time. Be careful with her walking off the table. Right, she's also a skip tooth number 4. Sorry, look, she's right at the back of the table. Literally, move the table forward a bit more. So her coat's easier to clip than OT's. It's not as thick. So again, we'd clip from the occiput all the way down to the base of the towel. To the top of the leg. So you can feel where the top of the leg is. And then I do skim in a bit. And then under the towel, flat across the bottom, but she's really silly on that. I can't hold her towel up. And also her mum did tell me that she was cutting around her bottom because she had a pooey bottom yesterday and cut her skin. So she's even more sensitive on her bottom today. So again, little clips, little strokes with the clippers, not the whole back, you know, do bits, work, feel your equipment and work with your equipment. Use it for what you need it for, to benefit you. Don't work against it, or against the dog, to be honest, because they just make your life 10 times harder. Work with the dog. They don't know that they're being naughty. You've got a clue, have they? They're just doing what they feel comfortable doing. So work with them. Some reason she's learned to just keep sitting while she's being groomed. As soon as I let her bottom go, she'll be down. Always follow the way the coat grows as well. Don't cut across the coat. You'll end up getting lines that you'll be there for ages trying to get out. So I hold my clippers, oh, my ear's gone funny. I hold my clippers right down at the blade end. I don't hold them up here because I've got no manoeuvrability with it. I hold them right down like a pencil. You know, I hold mine like a pencil. So I clip to where I want my line to be, and then I just skim into her feathers a little to soften my line. Look, literally up, down, up. so I'm not doing this the whole time with my arm up, down, up, down. I just hold her up just to support her up a little bit. I am going to clip all of her. Like the other dog, I did half and then half, but because she moves anyway, I might as well just clip her all. And comb up a little bit at the loose ends of hair. Kept feeling that. There we go. Got it. It's only dead hair. Don't be so silly. I'm going to clip her neck as well. Come here. Sit there. So from the occiput down, around the back of the ear. Doesn't matter if you clip into the cheek because you're going to do that shorter anyway. And down to where you finish your clipping line above the elbow and a bit brown to the chest bone. And follow yourself all the way around. Okay, scissors. Let's move you around that way a bit. Oh, the light's better because she's going all the way and all the way back to this end of the table. She, like, literally all the time. Evie. So now I have to manoeuvre myself. So I'll try and hold her up and scissor all at the same time. And stand out the way of the camera so you can see. So I'm just doing a slight angle again, nothing major. And any loose bits just blend in. So much easier to blend as well if you don't go too short. I'm supporting her whole leg if you can see. And I'm actually going to go round her foot. while I've got it in the air. Keep the foot up. I don't go up, down with the feet. Keep her foot up. I'm going to do her toenails. Now, Scottie toenails I find really hard. I don't find really hard. They stop dead. So it's really difficult to know how much you can get off. Now, I like leaving the feet on the floor to do a round, but because she's so lazy, I can't. And they're so low to the ground as well that it's quite hard to see. I'm sorry, I've got to go in front of the camera because she is being very awkward. Oh, my strap keeps falling down. It's annoying me. Right. Front legs she can sit. So we scissor across the back of the pastern. And she'll stand now, won't she? Because I'm not doing that end. Is as well, look. Little monkey. Toenails. If you cut the toenails when you're going around the dog, but before you scissor, I must probably got that one. When you're going around the dog, it helps you get the foot as short as you can. If you leave the toenails long till the last minute, you'll end up with long bits around the foot. So either do the toenails before you, always do the toenails before you scissor the foot. Or do all of, whichever which way you do it. Do all the toenails first and then scissor the foot, or whatever which way. But do the toenails first. It's just easier to do her like this with her foot in the air. A bit shorter under her chest. I know. So all I'm doing is going round the foot to take it off the ground a bit. Just to make it easier for a mommy. Always combing, always checking, even when they're on the floor. I see a long bit on Oti's towel that I'm going to get in a minute. Because once they move around in their natural movement, yeah, you can start seeing little bits that hang down. So towel, if they're very lazy, I do the towel from this side because I can put my arm through and hold the towel up, and the bum, sorry. So yes, I can put my arm through. The other side I can't, but that's because I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, it'd be the other way around. Here's scissor holding. See how far I've got my scissors in there, fingers in the scissors. And I hold them with my little two fingers. So she sits to do her towel, and she's a good girl. So do you know what? If she wants to sit and she hangs her towel over the edge of the table, who am I to moan? I'm happy with that, as long as she sits still. This is the thing, work with your dog, understand your dog, understand what the dog wants to do. It will make your life so much more easier. If you make a dog, I mean, obviously you have to make them to a certain point. But if you keep making a dog do something that it doesn't want to do, it will make it hard work on you. I say she wants to sit like this and I can still get to her towel. Does it matter? No. It's a nice point at the end of the towel. A bit like a carrot, but a Westie, you cut the end off. So it's flat. On a Scottie, you have a point. And her towel, I've done a lot thinner than Otie's because she's more lean. And then this side. I'll turn the camera on now because she's... Oh, I have to, now her with the harness, I have to manoeuvre. Because she comes all the way to the back of the table, I have to manoeuvre the harness. And she's strangling herself. She doesn't have to. Well, she's not strangling herself, but she's all the way back, you know. Stand there. I'm going to go to the belly again first. Just to get it off the floor. And now clippers. So we cut across the back of the foot. The last pad. I've already clipped under her feet. Let's do her toenails, which are... Oh my word, I'm surprised I haven't caught any. They're very long and they just stop. I'll show you. Well, you might not be able to see, to be fair, because she's black. But no, you can't see, you can't see. They just stop dead. So I'm just having to guess. You have to just sometimes guess, and usually once you've guessed one, you know you're okay on the rest if it hasn't bled. So I've got her leg out slightly, just tilted out a little bit, just so I can get in with my scissors. Not enough to make her feel uncomfortable, but enough that I can get around her. So you never want to get into a situation like with her. If you can see me all the time, I'm encouraging her to stand up. Not that she's overly listening to me because she keeps trying to sit. But if you let her sit, you got to go up, sit. Just try not to get into that I don't know, situation, dilemma. Try and encourage her to stand. And I just hold under her groin because she will keep sitting. So just always encouraging her, bounce her little back legs a little bit. Ooh, wakey wakey, we standing. She can sit now, just her front leg, I don't care now. So straight across the back of the foot again. Keep the foot up, come around, do toenails, which are horrific. Good girl. Come on. I reckon I'm really close. So while I've got the foot up, I'm going to go round the foot. See, she sits because I'm doing her back end, because she's not sitting now. She's not even trying to sit now. I've just remembered I've got to text my niece happy birthday before I forget. That's really bad timing, but I will forget. Or I just need to put her in the phone. Darcy. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I just... Have a lovely day. Text my husband to tell him. I had to. I forget everything. I've got really bad, so... Right. Keep bowling around him. Right. 7F on head again. 10 on ears. I've already got the 10 out, haven't I? The reason why I do a 7F on the head, I don't know if anyone does any Scotties, but they go quite bald over their temples. So a 7F is... Oh, your breath stinks. A 7F is a lot better. Oh, God, her breath stinks. And so if you feel again the indent behind the eyebrows, you clip from there back to where you've clipped in on the neck, blend in, and then I'm just going to clip up to the ear. And then usually you'll find you can clip one blade line through. Not always, depends on the conformation of the dog, but generally you can. Don't just go with that in case you can't. Or it's from the corner of the eye to the corner of the mouth, and there is a little pimple there that you can also follow as a guide. But usually, and you leave the tuft in the front of the ear, underneath the beard, and then follow yourself around. Obviously, if you clip the tuft in the front of the ear by the accident, you've got to clip the other side. If you ever make a mistake, just do the other side to match. There's no point doing one side right and one side wrong. You must just have it all wrong. So I will blend with my chunkers. In between the eyebrows. Lift the eyebrows up to do in front of the eyes. Not a weepy eye. Most probably better to do this with thinners instead of chunkers. Again, comb the eyebrow up and just scissor along the eyelash line. Just lifts the eyebrows. And gives them a clear eye. And then you have your eyebrow left. So you can comb them out to the side. I don't personally like combing them out to the side. So I always worry I'm going to snip that end off. So balancing at a nice angle on the nose, straight to the corner of the eye. And then with your thinners, if you need to, take a little bit off the top. See, hers are longer than Otis. You see. And just check your blending lines with the clippers to the beard, but you don't want to take too much, especially into the beard. She likes them having long beards. Make sure they match. Okay. Oh, don't, sorry. Don't get on the head with your harness. Right. The reason I didn't do the ears is because I already had her out of her harness. It was just easier to do her eyebrows and her beard. And then I'll do the ears now. So you just clip the whole ear, apart from this little tucky bit in the front. So all around the back of the ear. Turn it inside out. Try not to get hair down the ear hole. Sit. Again, she likes her with a bit of fluff on the front of her ear as well. She says it stops the grass seeds going down, so. Other ear, good girl. Wait. Wait. Shaking the head isn't fun, is it? No. Okay, and scissor, follow your finger line. Always scissor this way out. Don't ever scissor this way, because you're scissoring away from the ear, so you're less likely to catch the end of the ear. And from this way again. Scissor up and out, don't scissor ever. This is what I was taught early on, many years ago, and I still do the same, because there are some things that are a lot safer. So it's only, see, as I said, I don't specialise in Scottie, so I don't actually know how much to keep. I just look at pictures. I am going to keep, like I say, she likes that bit in front of the ear there. And it is only a slight tuft. It's not a lot. So if you definitely want to do a Scottie and specialise in one, watch some, you know, go and ask some breeders and watch some good videos on the actual Scottie show trim. I think there's some good videos on the Groomer's Spotlight of a Scottie. I'm not the Groomer's Spotlight, the Groomer's Gallery. UK one, that is. There's some good videos on there, or a video. Right, I think I'm all done. Just now, I just got to go round, check over and get myself organised to have the rest of the day off. Other than I most probably will have to bath my Cavalier because she's matted and disgusting. And my poodles, but other than that, we got the day off. Right. check over. If there's any questions or anything anyone wants to ask. That's so funny. She doesn't look like a rodent. She's a scottie. Right. Oh, sorry. A bit in there. Right, all done. Enjoy your weekend, people. Enjoy your Saturday.